Hello, Flosstube.
Greetings.
I'm Laura.
Hi, Joe.
Welcome to the Soulbuck Farm.
This is the farm where we grow cross stitch.
One stitch at a time. It is Monday, August 2nd. How is everybody today? How are you?
Aside from the whole Monday thing, I'm doing pretty good. Toey, I already have our comment question. Has anybody ever looked outside, saw the forecast, felt the gentle breeze in the morning, and went, do I really want to go into work today? Or do I want to be sick? I was very tempted to not go into work today because it was such a beautiful day. It felt like a crime to be in a freaking brick building all day. Technically cement, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I went to work.
He did go to work.
It took a lot of mental effort, but I went to work.
Just another manic Monday. Okay, I'm done.
Honey, I love you, but insert day of the week.
I'm never done.
No, with you. Manic insert day of the week.
Well, it wasn't manic until about an hour ago when I was trying to order something and my card wouldn't work. I don't know what happened. We ended up being able to get it ordered, but yeah. I went stitching today with my guild crew. That's always fun. The weather is beautiful in Ohio. It's not too hot, which kind of stinks because it's not pool weather, but it's also cool enough I have the windows open, and I've had the windows open all weekend.
Our electric bill is loving it.
Well, yes.
I just had an idea.
Unfortunately, tomorrow it's going to be like 80 again, so probably going to be putting the ACs back on. What did you have?
I will tell you the idea between video segments.
Okay. So. Yeah. That's our intro.
Squirrel-tastic.
I try to keep it concise.
Then why am I here?
So that... because you're here. That's why I try to keep it concise. No, I'm kidding. I try to keep it concise.
I will jar you.
He's playing with my jars.
And we're recording it too. YouTube's going to flag us now.
They're going to something us. Would you like to say hello to all of our commenters?
Sure. Pauline, Goat Mama, a lot of Goat Mama, Mad Morty, Glenna, Lynn, Brigitte, Teresa, Cheryl, Ferry, Susie, Juanita, Victoria.
Hi, guys.
Hi. And what's funny is that Ferry is actually not that weird of a name to me.
Nope. I think it's kind of a cool name. I've heard it's quite popular over in the UK.
It was my grandmother's name.
I have a couple of UK viewers. Is that true?
What?
It's a very popular name in the UK. I feel like the British folk that I know have very awesomely unique names. And maybe they're super common in the UK, but...
What's really funny is I knew a guy who was Vietnamese. He's from Vietnam.
Vietnamese.
His name is Hung. Last name Long.
The jokes would be raw.
It got him the job interview.
I'm sure.
And the thing is, it took us about 2 years before we were finally brave enough to explain it to him. And he thought it was the funniest thing ever because where he's from, Hung is actually kind of like Joe.
Interesting. Oh, are we still watching the Olympics?
No.
I have been. Most of the sports that I follow are done now. I'm watching replays of some of the stuff that I didn't get to see all of it. I'm a swimming, diving kind of girl. I have found the kayak and canoe slaloms are quite a fascinating sport. It's kind of like downhill skiing in a boat on water. It's absolutely fascinating.
Okay.
It's kind of cool. It is cool. It's cool. It's cool. But USA Swim cleaned up in the pools. So track and field's the premier event of the second week of the Olympics. I'm just not a track and field girl.
I have a severe problem with track and field.
Asthma.
Every time I did track and field and I did decently well, I couldn't breathe for an hour.
I do have to say my...
And that was when I was a teenager.
Yeah, I have to say my favorite meme to come out of the Olympics this last week is a picture of one of the Canadian swimmers in the pool like this. And the caption says, the most relatable moment of the Olympics is seeing the Canadian who won the race but didn't know it because she couldn't read the scoreboard. Because she didn't have her glasses on. I get it. I relate. I relate. I relate.
She wasn't stupid enough to try to wear contacts.
Yeah, what? Yeah. Yeah. Alright, well, why don't we move on to whips?
Okay. Monkey presses button. Poop.
Whips. The things you guys don't see off camera. Whips.
I'm almost done again.
That's his whip. Let's go with it.
And actually, we haven't been really able to. I haven't been able to switch so much at market because, well, we've been busy.
Yes. Which is going to be a bit of a problem for me to do this week because I got a lot of stuff to do. Okay, so as you guys know, I was stitching on Mayor Spools last week. Said I would put it down when I finished the spools of thread. And finishing the spools of thread, putting the needle and the thread that's on the needle up there, which when I said my goal was to finish the spools, I'd forgotten there was a threaded needle up there. Middle, you know, just finish that space. So, I know I showed you this last week and I gave you numbers on what I stitched on it last week. But, altogether, my stitching time on this, I stitched 940 and a half stitches. Joe hates half stitches. So, that includes what you saw last, that's all three of the spools, the needle thread, and a bit of the border to come down to measure the spool off of. So you saw some of it last week. I'm just seeing it all done, or all together this week.
You know what I would do if I was counting stitches because I'm a dork and I know it would probably confuse somebody?
What?
I do 0.5.
This is 28 count, I think. Slovak Farm. Raven Queen.
She's gonna kick my butt one of these days.
So then I spun the wheel of stitchy goodness. Decide what I was going to stitch on next.
If you start using that wheel to pick out lunch, I am seriously going to start laughing at you.
Contemplated it. No, actually, what I contemplated it for was when we were still living over in the city and we were like, what do we want for dinner? I don't know. What do you want for dinner? Put all of our options in on the wheel and spin the wheel. Anyways, moving on. The Stitchy Wheel of Goodness decided I needed to stitch on Cathedral Wood Goddess.
I will mention it when you're done with this particular whip.
I realized when I was stitching on Cathedral Wood Goddess that the center column of her dress is stitched in Krynic 021. Laura was stitching it in Krynic 102. Oopsie! So I had to do some frogging. Wasn't super serious.
At the time, it was super serious.
And at the time it was, really?
Yeah, no, you were reallying so hard it was super serious. Like you were sitting there frogging.
Frogging Kreinik is a little challenging. That and the prospect of frogging that butterfly wing. Which I didn't do. I just got a new piece of fabric.
I love you, but when you get that many stitches into something and you want to completely redo it, would you like to know what you do with the piece? Fire pit.
Bend it. So that's what I did. I bend it. But that was anyways. But Cathedral Wood Goddess. She is on a 32 count hand dyed by the Slovak farm. This is a custom color. I could probably repeat it, but it was done custom for this project because I'm doing it as a stitch along with Goat Mama Angie. I did a total of 755 stitches on Cathedral Wood Goddess. And that copper looks so much better than that gold was.
It's almost like that's the reason why the designer chose it.
It's almost like she knew what she was doing. Oh my god.
At least somebody with this project did.
Because I sure didn't.
I love you.
But I got significant progress on that from where I was when I started. I've got a lot to go.
No. I was like, was that the center of the dress or is this woman carrying a tower shield?
That's the center of her dress.
Because with how it's been done so far, it actually could be somebody holding a shield.
It could be. It could be. All right.
Now would you like to know what my crazy idea was?
What?
Too bad our dog doesn't like to play fetch.
Why?
Because you can get numbered tennis balls, put that out, and just throw all the tennis balls at once, and the one she comes back with is the one you do.
That would be hilarious.
And if you have a dog that likes to do fetch, you are more than welcome to steal that idea. Your dog will not complain. Be prepared to get the rest of the balls back and keep throwing them.
Exactly. Okay. And then
here.
I had to. Oh, we lost the copper. Put that back in there.
Depending on what you're doing, that actually sounds like a bad thing. It sounds like a rather bad good thing. What? All right, see? We lost the copper, see?
How about you do me a favor and find the piece of fabric that's in the fabric and stick it on there. So that, as I'm fishing around here for nothing. Or an insane video. Anyways. So, because Lady of the Flag was a zombie run piece, I needed to replace Lady of the Flag for August. Yesterday started August, and ended July. So, I switched to my zombie run piece, and I put Hands-On Design, my Stitcher's Heart, in the zombie run. As I was stitching on this last night, I was like, I don't know how long this is actually going to last for the zombie run, because I've made significant progress with just 414 stitches. So I added these words, in the pool, and the sign pool. That's 414 stitches. So I've got the sign, another doodad like that, some more words, some tomatoes on the bottom. Oh, and the back stitch, the stuff in the basket.
Get in the basket. Bing, bing.
Ding, ding. This is on a piece of 28 count, hand dyed by the Slovak farm, solo. This was that screw up from Lake Day Blue that I was like, what the frick is wrong with this die?
She has a lot of stuff when she was trying to figure out what dye to go with. That's where most of these solos actually came from, if I'm not mistaken.
I have some No, that one is, I dyed a piece of fabric Lake Day Blue. And then I needed to dye another piece of fabric Lake Day Blue. Well, the first piece of fabric did not take all of the all of the dye that I had for Lake Day Blue. So I dyed a piece of fabric for Lake Day Blue. It was not the same color. I dyed a third piece of fabric with new dye mixed up, and it was the same color as the first one. So I don't know what happened. So yeah, that's a guaranteed. I can't repeat it solo. I do have some RIT dye that I need to use up. That's probably going to make some solos in the future when I get to it. I did a total of 2,109.5 stitches this week. He hates half stitches. He hates fractional stitches.
They're stitches. They should be whole numbers. It's like having 20 and a half apples. Who ate the other half of my apple?
I love you, honey. All right. Let's move on to haul, because we have haul.
Yeehaw! Squirrel!
Haul.
Y'all. This is C is for Carrot by Scissortail Designs. I got this for fun. I have a thing for carrots.
You like carrots?
You know those baby peeled carrots you get in the bag? She bought some, saying, hey, you can have some of these. It was back when we first got together. About the next day, she went and like, where's the bag of carrots? I'm like, I ate them. Like, that was a rather big bag. You ate them?
I said you could have some. Not all of them. I needed them for dinner.
Look, you need to tell me these things because I'm one of those people. I will eat carrots like they're chips.
Which is probably better for you than eating chips, but
If only it was less expensive.
also very true.
If chips and carrots were the same price, I would be orange.
Well, that's interesting. You would be orange. I just made noise.
Did we already show this? Yes.
Yes, you showed that last week.
Okay.
Okay. Did I show this last week? I showed that last week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I showed that last week. So I got the new Nora Corbett that was released for July. Calla Lily Bride.
Oh my god, I already bought that one.
Yeah, Calla Lily was my wedding flower.
It's your favorite flower.
Exactly. So the Nora Corbett's released in pairs, and the other one was Pussy Willow, Mother of the Bride.
That might piss your mom off.
Yeah. That's why I didn't get it.
I'm like, I'm sorry, but that's just a very interesting name.
Yeah, Pussy Willow, Mother of the Bride. The other ones in the series are Gladiola, Maid of Honor, Passion Flower Bridesmaid, Primrose Bridesmaid, and Mum Flower Girl. I got the bead pack, that's why I was reading it.
Wait a minute. So the bride is in your bridal flower.
Yes.
You have to start that on September 1st.
Okay. Well, I'll do my best. However, the Karen Water Lily that's called for this, back ordered. Back out of stock is an evil word.
There's a reason I'm hiding. I want to live.
I may have possibly screeched when I opened the package and saw that the Karen Water Lily for that and 2 Sullivans that I ordered were not just back ordered, they were canceled because they're that out of stock.
Okay, next.
And then I got Alexandra Adelaide's lace corset.
Ouch.
Ouch, what?
A corset.
Yes. This,
Ouch.
This is what I'm going to stitch with that hank of silks for you that I got.
Okay.
I know it's not completely monochromatic in the design, but I'm probably going to do it as just monochromatic or with white.
That is the only part I would do a different color. The little flower in the middle.
Yeah, I may just do that as white.
Okay.
But I don't know what color I'm going to stitch it on, but I was looking for something and I went, I know what I can use that hank of silk for. So, that's all for the week. Plans and announcements.
My plans are Zelda. Both. Video games and cross stitching.
There we go. My plans. We have guild meeting this week. Wednesday. AKA tomorrow when this gets posted. So I am working on restitching my green part of the wings pattern. I started that today while we were over in I was over in Medina stitching. When I get that done, we're going to spin the wheel of stitchy goodness and stitch off something on that.
I'm sorry, but that name sounds like you're trying too hard. The steel of stitchy goodness. That just sounds like okay, you could just stopped at the wheel stitching. The wheel stitching goodness sounds like you're trying to cover up something.
Okay, fine. The wheel of stitching.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad name. I just think it's funny. I'm not allowed to find something humorous.
No, I'll find something humorous. So that is that.
That was driving me nuts. I did a good job getting rid of it, didn't I?
I'm such a jerk. Announcements. Well, now we have thread ordering problems, folks. Please be patient with me. This is not going well for learning how to run my own LNS.
Actually, this is going very well for learning how to do. You are basically, your start is the worst case scenario. So hopefully, after we get through this patch of crap, it should be smooth sailing for you.
Gotta hope so, because this sucks. Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, we're planning a cross stitch. We're hosting a cross stitch retreat in April in Wellington, Ohio, which is about 50 miles from Cleveland. It's yeah. The retreat will be in the old church at our parish. It's $75. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Pizza party Friday. Baked potato salad bar Saturday. Oh, there's gonna be a salad bar on Friday too. Baked potato salad bar on Saturday. Bring your stitchy goodness.
Or whatever craft you like.
Bring your crafty goodness. I mean,
Some
really,
ladies came and did needlepoint, which is not a big deal.
Bring your crafty goodness. If you want to haul a sewing machine in, we can make that happen. You know.
Oh, that's technically haul. Lara got a ancient sewing machine.
It's not ancient.
It works off a foot pedal. It's ancient.
I got a treadle sewing machine. It is not a Singer. It's a Standard, which Standard was produced in Cleveland. I think, if I remember correctly from what I read on the internet. But anyways, so it needs a little bit of work, a little rough, but we'll see if we can get her up and running.
Between the two of us, we'll get it running.
Yep, we'll get her up and running. So that's it for the week. I don't have any other announcements. If you're interested in the cross stitch retreat, it is linked below, Stitching at the Farm. If you're interested in shopping with me as your ONS, The Shopify page is linked below. I also have a Facebook group. You will see new stuff on the Facebook group before it pops up on the Shopify page. If you have a specific request, shoot me a message.
We'll see what we can do.
We'll see what we can do. All of our social media is linked below. What would we like the people to do?
Like the video if you could, please. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Bell notification thingy me bobby so that you can get told because YouTube is a jerk. Share the video because that seems to help out too. You know, the basic YouTube. Please do these things so I get views.
Please.
That's what it boils down to. Please make my video popular.
Please make my video popular. Okay.
And for those that have actually not met me in person, I am this weird or worse normally. This is not an act. I'm not that good.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for stopping by. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.